Hello, welcome to Purple Sight. Today, I want us to start interacting with our inner wolf. Why? Well, our inner wolf is going to be the key to our intuition, our instincts that we tend to ignore, that the world often leads us to ignore, our gut instinct. The wolf has been coming up for me a lot. I have been seeing it in my head a lot in meditations, not like in the world, just in my head, like in pictures. Like I always do this sleep meditation every night, and any time like it talks about the moon, I see the wolf. I see like an image of the wolf and like the moon as a backdrop behind it. So the wolf has just been like very present in my head lately. And then it happened last night. I pulled an animal totem card, and you'll never guess. I got the wolf. Look at this gorgeous card. Now let's talk about this. It says Wolf Pathfinder. Release your past and start a new journey. You are a teacher and help others find their way. There will be challenges, but your soul is strong. Perseverance is your secret power. You have a love that endures. This is so gorgeous. Like, I look at this, I can like look into the eyes of the wolf and like just feel my own soul just like growing and growing. So let's keep that in mind in thinking about the wolf. All of those statements. The wolf, we're talking moon energy, the divine feminine. The wolf is your wildest self, your freest self, introspection, courage, intuition, your soul path. Intuition, even when it's hard or lonely, your inner wisdom following your instincts. So it can often be like the loner path and like not doing what everyone else tells you to do, doing what you know you need to do, even if it causes you to be alone, and knowing that eventually you will find your pack. So today, as I was thinking about the wolf, as I got home, I was thinking about how I can bring my inner wolf out, like how I want it to like manifest in my life, just like going over this image in my head and like what does it mean? What do I do with it? And I trip going up the stairs into my apartment. I completely fall on my face. I face plant. And I felt very stupid at first and embarrassed. I believe I said, "Oh, fuck." And initially I was like, well, fuck the wolf. I feel like an idiot. I'm like being dumb going over this in my head. But then I thought about it some more and I started to think maybe my inner wolf is trying to talk to me. Maybe my inner wolf is a bit messy. It's a bit carefree. It's a bit wild. Maybe my inner wolf comes out when I'm not trying to be so timid and careful and follow the most laid out steps on the path that is laid out for me, but it comes out when I'm being more loose and free and wild. So, with that in mind, I wanted us to let our inner wolf out in in the messiest way we can. Let's get messy. I mean, we're all werewolves if we want to be. So let's get down to some questions we can journal about. Question number 1. I'm going to write these down too. Where in our lives do we feel truly wild, truly free? So it can be the smallest part of your life. Maybe you're lucky, maybe it's a huge part of your life, and you want to keep growing with that. Before I went on leave from work, it would have been difficult for me to answer this question, but now I feel like I am really embracing this wildness that I knew was always inside me, that I knew wanted to come out, but I kept it secret. So, like, when I was working, where I really let my mind run wild was my writing. And I would just write these like crazy poems and just like there were no rules when I took to my journal or I took to writing these like silly little mindless poems. And I could just be free in that place within myself because it was just like for me. So, where in your lives do you feel truly free and why? Next question is hard. What instinct have you been ignoring? This is hard because if you've been ignoring it for so long, it can go dormant. You know what I mean? Like you might not even know what it is. I had felt dormant for such a long time. It was just like this emptiness. Like before I let all of these creative sparks really run wild, it felt like just this empty nothing. It's like I have no words left. I have no creation left inside me. So I think I personally had been ignoring my creative instincts for so long. But to take this a bit deeper, to be even a bit more vulnerable, I think I have been ignoring the instinct to care for myself, to nurture myself, if anyone can relate to that. I think when you have mental health issues, oh no, our wolf. That is so weird that the wolf card just fell when I was saying that. Like maybe I actually got to the right thing, the right answer that I was like ignoring or like avoiding actually saying out loud. That is so crazy. I think I was avoiding the instinct to nurture myself and take care of myself. Because when you have all of these things in your brain that are blocking you, depression, anxiety, trauma, so many things. You're burned out, you're isolated, you're stressed. It sounds so simple and like stupid in a way, but like you can say you're doing self care and you can say like you're, taking care of yourself and you're doing these things for yourself. But until you actually have meaning behind it, it's so fake. I didn't realize I was like most of the self care I was doing was so fraudulent because I didn't mean it. I didn't actually put the care in self-care, like, if that sounds like it makes sense at all. Like, I knew how to take care of myself through these hard things that I was going through, but I was also a real asshole to myself. And I would be like, "What the hell is wrong with you that you can't get your bitch ass out of this?" That's what I would say in my head. Be like, "What the hell is wrong with you? Get up off the floor. Get the hell out of bed. What are you doing with your life right now?" Like, this is like, so it's like, yeah, I was trying to do the self care and take care of myself. But there's also this other part that's like, I didn't really mean the things I did. Like, there were no thoughts behind the action. It was like, okay, I'm like taking care of myself because that's what they say to do. But changing your thoughts is so difficult. I'm reading this book right now that was recommended to me by my new psychologist called No Bad Parts. And it's teaching me that we don't actually need to change our thoughts. You don't need to fight them. This inner critic, maybe you have an inner critic, or maybe you have a voice in your head that's really dark. Maybe it wants to hurt you. Maybe it wants to hurt other people. Maybe it wants to just keep you safe and protect you, or gosh, it's just a real asshole to you, or something like that. Those voices, like, they come out of specific traumas in our life. And so, in order to understand them, we can't just condemn them. We have to like work with them and actually kind of commend them because they're just trying to take care of us. It brought up this example how, like, if you're an addict, the addiction part of your brain, because there's all these different parts of your brain. The addiction part of your brain oftentimes is protecting you from experiencing deep emotional pain. That's an instinct that that part is fulfilling, which is like makes complete sense. And that's like a positive instinct. Yeah, the outcome isn't great, but like in order to work with that part of your brain, yeah, like I understand that. That's like you're doing a good job. That part of your brain is doing a good job. You just have to work with it. You have to empathize with it and understand that there's no bad parts of you. That's the point of the book. I really went on a tangent there to that question. It really brought up some things in me. Been going through a day. Shall we move on to the next question? If anyone wants to discuss that further, please do so in the comments. If you have any thoughts in response to that, if you're watching this, I would love to discuss it with you if you can relate at all. That was my very vulnerable moment. Okay, what else do I have written down? This is a good question. It's a fun question, but it's also maybe not a fun question. Who's in your pack and who isn't? Who's in your pack and who isn't? This is hard because sometimes it's hard to understand that, like, there are people who might love us and support us, but only in their own way, and that might not be That might not be the best for us in this specific moment when we are trying to be our full wild selves because we're looking for our pack, our wolf pack, for our wolf. So, who's in your wolf pack? Who's not in your wolf pack? Doesn't mean you have to do anything about it, just so you know. When have you trusted your guttural instincts? And what happened? When have you trusted your guttural instincts? And what happened? So, I'm going to talk about my leave from work. When I put in my leave from work, this was almost like a little over 3 weeks ago at this point. I didn't realize how much I would learn about myself in such a short time because I didn't realize how long I had been ignoring the fact that I was being so inauthentic because I had felt so just so awful, like for so long at work, but also within myself. And I had been struggling for such a long time. I'd been struggling for such a long time with my mental health. And I think if you're a person who struggles with mental health, sometimes you just, maybe this is just me speaking from my experience. I just sometimes think that that's the way it is. And I don't think it's supposed to be better. Like, it's just like, oh, this is just my life. Like, this is just how it is. And so I just kind of attach myself to being in a bad place. I'm like, oh, this is just my life. Like, my life's not supposed to be that great. Um, Even though it hasn't always been that way, there's always been this like looming presence, like a darkness. And so it's hard to see that like something can get better or like maybe there is an alternative. So I didn't even realize, not realize, but like I didn't even see the upside of like making a positive decision for myself. It sounds so silly if you like don't, if you can't empathize with what I'm saying, but like I truly didn't see the point at the time. But then I just did it because I got to a point where it kind of came to me like through the universe. If you are watching this, you probably believe in like signs from the universe, like I do. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, depending where I'm at in life. Now, of course, I'm embracing every sign. Um, and it came to me like through my dreams. I had been seeing all these signs from the past and from the present and the future, like mixed in, and it just all came crashing down on me. And I finally said, I can't do this anymore. And I told my therapist and I told my job, and it happened. And we did it. And I did it. And I just felt like that moment, like that decision, it's like, oh, I just made like a decision to truly take care of myself, to truly put myself and my health before anyone else's needs. I put my needs first over this job, over financials. Like, I said my health actually matters. My happiness actually matters. My actions were actually saying that and proving that to myself. And once you do something like that and do an action like that says something like that, that speaks in that way to you, it completely changed my mindset. It's like, oh my God, like, I don't have to be unhappy. Like, it's like, I can like make these decisions all the time. And maybe I can just change my mindset. Yeah, I'm gonna have these freaking mental health diagnoses forever. But like, fuck that. Like, that doesn't mean I can't make good decisions for myself because I'm still a fucking human being. And I make good decisions. And I'm intuitive. And I'm creative. And I'm strong. And I'm all of these things that a fucking diagnosis doesn't even touch. And it's just like doing one thing can open up your entire world. So I hope that speaks to someone. I don't really know what I just said, but I hope that touches someone. And if you have a similar story or a similar experience, I would love to hear about it. And I would love to chat about it. I'm trying to I'm trying to connect. Please talk to me. Okay. I believe we have one more question. One more question. If you could howl your truth, what would it be? This can be one word, one sentence. You can just write nonstop for an hour. Let your mind fucking go. Write it in the comments. If you could howl your truth, what would it be? What is your truth? Howl it. Because who cares? Who cares? It's your truth. All the rules in the world are made up. Let's just think about that. All the rules in the world are made up. Howl your truth. Life is too short. Howl it. I'm gonna be really bold and brave right now. I'm gonna be really bold and brave and vulnerable right now. And this is the truth I wanna howl. It's the truth that's coming to mind. I'm really nervous. I don't wanna go back to my job. I don't wanna go back to corporate America. I don't wanna go back. I don't want to go back to corporate life. It's not for me. It's not for my wild heart.